What's up, guys? Kane here, coach of the Brining Weasels, again with another DHL Draft League video. Today we're going over Week 2's match versus Lingus and the team of the Slowbrokes. Now we're just going to get right into the team preview here of what I was planning to bring and why. So first off, when looking at Lingus' team, it consists of Gmax Duraludon, Cinderace, Tangrowth, Alola Marowak, Reuniclus, Klefki, Crook, Slowpoke, obviously, for his team name, Double, Togedemaru, Mawile, and Lightbird. Now, when me and Itzy were team building this and preparing, we pretty much knew he was guaranteed to bring Gmax Duraludon, Cinderace, and Tangrowth. We figured he'd bring Reuniclus because it's a very strong wall to our team, so we pretty much figured those four were almost guaranteed. And for his last slots, we thought he might bring either Crocodile and Klefki, or Klefki and Alola Marowak. Considering Alola Marowak is a very strong mon in terms of just damage, it can pretty much OHKO half of my team. It's a good counter to a couple of my mons as well, but it's also very dangerous since we do have mons like Scrafty and our rain team that can take it out if they're faster. So we pretty much figured he'd bring Gmax Duraludon, Cinderace, Tangrowth, Reuniclus, Klefki, and Crook, which was our prediction. Pretty much Tangrowth, he had a bunch of very defensive mons, such as Tangrowth is a very physically bulky mon. That was a huge problem as long as if I have Pelipper and Kingdra around with Hurricane, it wouldn't be so much of an issue. But if for some reason those mons were to go down, we'd have a lot of trouble getting rid of that Tangrowth. Cinderace is a very strong, fast physical sweeper, so we need to have mons to be able to outspeed him, which we'll go over when we get to my team. Reuniclus is just a very good mon. It tanks hits from a majority of my team for the most part, just because of how bulky it is, and it can probably hit back with a Focus Blast or a Thunder really hard against the majority of my team. Klefki, big issue, because we're very weak to hazards. If he gets a Stealth Rock up with Klefki or Crook, we're in danger, because Pelipper, weak to it, and we need him for his Drizzle. Nig gets hit pretty hard, because of the bug. Mamoswine gets hit, it breaks the sash, as well as it just does chip damage to everything else, which is not good because we need to have as much health as possible to be able to hold on versus a defensive team. So we were pretty scared about that, which is why I'm running Defog on Pelipper. But yeah, so onto the first mon here. We have Pelipper, which is a Damp Rock Pelipper. We need Rain. We want to outspeed pretty much everything he has, because Crocodile and Alola Marowak, if they have speed on their side for some reason, if my Sticky Webs gets bounced back at me through Magic Bounce Reuniclus, we're in big trouble. So we did, so we have Zamprock Drizzle just to make sure I get the rain up as long as possible, so that Kingdra can pretty much just run amok through his team if I get that chance. Damprock again to extend the rain. Hurricane, this does a chunk to pretty much everything on his team. It does like 45% to Gmax Duraludon. That's insane. It almost OHKOs Cinderace, if not, it should. I'm not sure. It OHKOs Tangrowth, I think. No, it 2-hit OHKOs Tangrowth pretty easily. I can kill Marowak essentially with Scald. So Pelipper is just a really strong mon overall. It hits a lot of his team really super effectively. It's just really good. I got Defog on it because it now gets Defog. I think after the DLC, it gets Defog now. So I'm using Defog just to get rid of any hazards like Stealth Rocks that could be a problem on my side. And then U-turn to be able to get out of there if I'm faster and I know I can get through. U-turn also does, a good chunk to Reuniclus as well as Crook if I need to be a defensive pivot. If I know he's scarfed or something, I can live a Stone Edge actually with my spread. Mostly speed and special attack with a little bit in defenses and HP, just so I can make sure I can live a Stone Edge from Crook, as well as a couple key hits from physical mons like Cinderace. I can live a Zen Headbutt or something like that. So yeah, that's Pelipper. On to the next mon of Scrafty, Pants. This mon is specifically engineered to wall off Gmax Duraludon in its entirety. This thing takes like, I think 40% from a Gmax depletion, and then he can just Drain Punch, bulk up, and rest pretty much throughout it, and just gain all the health back. I take 40% from a depletion, then I can just Drain Punch 25%, and then with leftovers, I'm sitting at like 81 or something like that. This thing walls it entirely. It wastes all 3 turns of Duraludon and then can kill it. I have bulk up on this thing just in case I can bulk up on the Duraludon if it doesn't do as much as I'm thinking. I can bulk up, then Drain Punch, get more out, and then I have more attack and defense for his mons like Tangrowth and Crook and stuff like that, and Cinderace as well. So I'll be able to stack up my defense and attack and get more health back with Drain Punch. Crunch is here specifically for mons like Marowak and Reuniclus. Crunch is a main move to get rid of Reuniclus. With this spread, he takes, like, I think maximum 30% from a Focus Blast. And then I can heal it up pretty much with Drain Punch and Crunch and get it all back. It's just a really specially bulky mon. Max with Shed I can pretty much rest up if I'm ever in low health versus Duraludon or Reuniclus, and then I can Shed Skin, wake up, and then continue on with dealing out damage and getting it back with Drain Punch. So it's essentially just a really specially bulky mon to wall off Duraludon as well as Reuniclus. I think +2 or +3 bulk up like sweeps his team if I can get rid of any special attackers really. Even then, it's not. I think a +3 just sweeps his team if I can bulk up. But that is crafty. Defensive set, HP, special defense, a little in attack just to make sure I can get those kills with Drain Punch against Duraludon as well as Reuniclus. On to Araquanid. This mon is the same spread as last time with HP, attack, and defense because I want to make sure I can live hits from a couple mons here and there. I probably should have done more special defense because the special attackers on his team are the ones that are more dangerous to him, so that may end up hurting us. But Water Bubble to make sure that Liquidation can do as much damage as possible to his entire team. It OHKOs pretty much any form of Cinderace. It OHKOs a little bit Marowak. It does a huge chunk to Reuniclus. It does like 70% to Klefki. It OHKOs Crocodile. It's just a really strong move. Rain Dance, just in case Pelipper again goes down, I need a mon to be able to get Rain back up for Kingdra to be able to sweep through his team. Having speed is very crucial. And Sticky Webs, just in case. The one problem here about Sticky Webs is if for some reason he has Court Change or Magic Bounce, and I'm the one getting Sticky Webbed, this is a huge problem. Because then I'm going to be slow for the most part, and all my mons are probably going to have trouble keeping up and getting those kills. Kingdra, same set as last time. Life Orb, Swift Swim, Max Speed, and Special Attack to get those kills. Hurricane, Draco, and Surf, as well as Flip Turn as a pivot. Same thing, nothing different here. Hurricane does 2-hit OHKO Tangrowth. It OHKOs Cinderace, it 2-hit OHKOs Duraludon, it OHKOs Marowak, it OHKOs Crook. I think it 2-hit OHKOs Klefki. I'm not too sure. It 2-hit OHKOs Reuniclus, I'm pretty sure. This is just a really strong mon. It's definitely one of my win cons. I need to keep this thing alive and healthy for the majority of his team. Mamoswine. I sash this thing just in case for things like Cinderace. If I find myself in a wall that I can't get through and I need to beat that Cinderace down, I can take a pretty much any hit, either Earth and then Earthquake, and then Ice Shard it to kill it, no matter pretty much what form. I think Earthquake plus Ice Shard should kill. Oblivious to get up Stealth Rocks if I need to. Again, I'm scared of Court Change Cinderace because I know he's brought it before, and he was probably going to bring it again this time, so that is dangerous. So I just got to be aware of that. Knockoff. This is specifically for Reuniclus. I need something to be able to hit Reuniclus besides Scrafty and Nid. Kingdra's iffy. I don't know how especially bulky that thing is. It could take my hits and kill it, so that's dangerous. So I needed something with knockoff to be able to do good damage to pretty much any of his team. I also need to get rid of that Rocky helmet or whatever he has with that Tangrowth to make it less bulky and less damaging to my team, which is really good. It kills Marowak if I can predict a switch in. It gets rid of the Choice Scarf for Crook. It's just a good move all around for his team. Good coverage. Again, same spread, attack and speed, jolly nature. I want to be able to outspeed his team. That's just the main key thing is outspeed, kill. Same thing, yep. On to Jolteon. Again, same spread as last time, except for this time I think I went Choice Specs last time. This time I'm going with Life Orb, just in case. I am faster than his entire team with this thing. The only problem may be Scarf Cinderace, but this is my answer to a lot of his team. Weather Ball in Rain OHKOs Cinderace, it OHKOs Crook, it OHKOs Marowak. It does a huge chunk to Klefki, if not it might kill it. It does a lot to Duraludon. In fact, I think a Weather Ball might do like 70% to it, I'm not sure. This mon is huge. It outspeeds Cinderace, so it can pretty much kill Cinderace pretty easily too. This thing's vital. If this thing goes in, and I can get it outspeed pretty much everything, Weather Ball pretty much hits everything on his team. And if he goes into Tangrowth, I can Volt Switch out and into another mon. And then such as Kingdra or Pelipper and Hurricane it up. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Lingus did say he had trouble prepping for my team. He said I knew for a fact he was scared of my Mamoswine. Because he said he could, I think he said he could prep for rain pretty well. But Mamoswine put a big dent in his team building from what I've heard. So I'm feeling decently confident. It was a little hard to prep for his team. But I felt confident going into this match. Alright, so we'll get into the replay in just a minute. Alright, here we are with our match versus Lingus. He brought a lot of what I expected. He did end up bringing the G-Max Duraludon, the Cinderace, Reuniclus, and Tangrowth. He did opt to bring Klefki. Now, one thing we did not expect at all was the double. I guess this thing is a very physically bulky mon. That thing gets a Cotton Guard, and it's basically untouchable on the physical side. But special side, it's still pretty weak, so it wasn't too much of an issue when I was going into what I was thinking. I think we could still deal with it with our special attackers. I think Kingdra still is able to 2-hit and all that. So I think it was. So I went into this pretty confidently. I decided that going into this match, I was going to lead with Nid because I could either set up webs or I could pretty much just liquidation whatever he sends in, or leech life pretty much whatever he sends in. It's just a good lead overall. It lives a hit, or lives 2 hits maybe. It lives a hit from Reuniclus, like a Thunder, from like 65% and higher. So I can definitely live one of those and leech life my health back. So I led with Nid here, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I led with Nid. So here I just decided to liquidation. Depending on whatever you did, my only, like, even through Reflect, I think it still did 50% through Reflect or something like that, I'm not sure. But it still did a good chunk. So he just goes for T-Wave on a Nid, which isn't too bad. My Nid's already really slow. So T-Wave wasn't a big issue here. I do get the defense drop, so he does switch out into Reuniclus. I liquidation again. I get another defense drop, which is really lucky. Because even after recover, I do like 74%. Yeah, 73. And so essentially he's forced to switch out here. So I went for Rain Dance because I want the liquidation to do as much as I can. And I decided to go for Leech Life, which probably was a bad play on my part because he had no reason to stay in there. He wasn't going to do any damage to me, especially through my physical set. So I pretty much could guarantee he was going to switch out, which means liquidation was my smarter play, especially in Rain. I think it would have done the same amount as Leech Life against Tangrowth anyways. So I could have killed Cinderace right here and kept a fully healthy Nid. Now, this man brought the tech. He had, I think, this might have been either... That might have been Choice Scarfed. Choice Scarf Cinderace, maybe, with Electro Ball. He said he brought Court Change, I know that. But he brought, I think it was Choice Scarf Electro Ball, which I think that's why T-Wave, so we can get as much damage out as possible. But Nid's very especially bulky naturally, so I'm able to tank it with about 50%. It's not the greatest play. I could have liquidation and killed it from the start, which is the downside, because I could have had Nid at 50% to live certain hits from a lot of other mons. So that was a lot of unnecessary damage I took. I liquidation, it still kills. I didn't think he thought it would kill there. I died of Thunder here, unfortunately. If I hadn't taken that Electro Ball, I could have lived. So I did sack it. I go into Mammo here, and I just knock off, because it's just a good move to have for any of his mon coming in. I get rid of the Rocky Helmet, which is really nice, so I'm taking a lot less damage when I attack it. Earthquake is just a good coverage move overall. I hit pretty much all his team with it, with decent damage, besides Tangrowth. So I was like, okay, I want some damage off of this thing. Because if this thing's able to get a Cotton Guard and then just body press half my team without me getting damage on it, it'll be a problem. Because I think it lives a Hurricane or Weather Ball. Normally from Pelipper and Kingdra, I'm not sure. I didn't really do any calcs versus this mon. Because I didn't expect it at all. So I go to Pelipper here immediately. I take like 40% from body press, which isn't great. But he switches out into Ralladon. I Hurricane, does max damage to pretty much anything. Did 44%, I think, and Confusion, which is really lucky for me. So I go into my Scrafty here, which is just a especially defensive wall. So I take no matter what hit he brings at me. But I actually get lucky enough to where he hits himself in Confusion, so I get a free switch in. And it does like 43, 47. And I'm able to heal all that back with Drain Punch and Leftovers, like 81. I pretty much got 30% back. He maxed Lightnings. I think he wanted the Lightning up for Reuniclus to hit Thunder against half my team. I'm able to pretty much get all my health back from all that. I took no damage. Pants is a god. He literally lived the entirety of that and killed Ralladon. I do Crunch, which is able to kill the Reuniclus, which I don't think he was max speed. I might be max speed, but I'm not sure. I can't remember anymore. So he T-Ways, but he forgot that Prankster doesn't affect Dark types, so I pretty much just get the free kill on him. He switches out here. So I just go for Crunch, hoping for a defensive lower. And here, since I'm especially bulky, Giga Drain does nothing. So I can sit here and bulk up against his team pretty much infinitely. The only option he had here was to switch into double and then Cotton Guard. And by then I'd be already plus 3. And so he goes for the Sleep Powder. Which is, I put Shed Skin on Pants, Scrafty. for the sole reason of rest Shed's getting up after G-Max Duraludon, as well as getting around his Sleep Powder Tangrowth, which he also brought last match to, I can't remember who he played against, I think it was Johnny, and the Fortnite Gamers, ignore the name. But he brought it versus them, and I was like, he's guaranteed to bring it versus me, because he wants to be able to cripple my team, and force me into a bad position. And so, he gets rid of my leftovers here, which is, it hurts, but it's not that bad. I can just continue bulking up here, essentially. I have no reason not to. I tank Giga Drains like crazy. I wanted a little bit of health back, so I wanted to see how much that did. It did 33, which is still good. Shetskin procs happens again. I wake up, and I'm just going to bulk up again. At this point, I just win. Because there's nothing he can do to kill me. I can bulk up to max if I wanted to, but 3.5 guarantees 3-hit OHKO on Tangrowth, as well as resting up pretty much, or not resting up, but drain punching up almost all my health back. So I'm pretty much guaranteed full health Scrafty versus double and Klefki. And his Klefki is a full Prankster set, which is just, I think, T-Wave, Defog, and Screens or Stealth Rock. So it can't really touch Scrafty at all. So pretty much his entire team just goes out of Scrafty at this point. So it was an interesting game. Didn't really go as expected for either of us, but we were able to pull through in the end with Scrafty and bulk up. He pretty much walled his entire team after his Cinderace went down, which was pretty good on our part. I'm very proud of the Scrafty set. It worked out really well, and we were able to pull a 5-0 lead, or 5-0 victory over Slowbrokes in Lingus, which put us in the first place position for the league so far. Right now we're in first with a 2-0 record and a differential of, I think, 8 or 9, one of the two. But yep, Scrafty was MVP of this match definitely, and it went very well. Next week will actually be a live match versus Lido and the Sneaky Zorwas, which is a kind of a mini Rain team. He's Politoed and like G-Max Dreadnought and Gyarados and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting Rain teams versus each other. So look forward to that. I'll be doing a live match there where you can see live thoughts and all that, which will be interesting. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.